Need a tasty potluck dish that can be prepared in minutes? I'm Marcy McDonald, Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. This week, homestead spouse Scott will experiment with a vintage party food recipe I remember my mom making in the 80s. I recently looked through my mom's recipe box looking for something for my sister. I found handwritten recipes recorded by my mom or friends and family. One is for lefse, a traditional dish reflecting her Norwegian heritage. She saved a few for food packaging, magazines, and newspapers. A few are the telltale purple of old-fashioned mimeograph machines that we call ditto machines in school. Some are typed on a manual typewriter, and a few were photocopied, which was unusual back then. I have an example of a kind of urban legend recipe that was photocopied and mailed in chain letters or shared with friends. This one is from the 80s, but I've seen this same one on social media recently. The more things change, the more they stay the same and just adapt to new technology. Pickle Roll Ups are a dish my mom made for many parties. I've had to try to remember it though because I did not find this recipe in the recipe box. Scott will do his best to try to turn my sketchy memory into a tasty treat.
Based on what Marcy said about this, I am going to try to recreate it, maybe with my own little flair on it. We'll see how it works out. First off, I'm not using boring pickles. I'm using these hot kosher dills that are technically medium hot. For me, they're mild, but they're really tasty. And then for lunch meats, I've got 4 different kinds of lunch meats here. We'll try a couple of these and see which ones work best. And of course, we've got our cream cheese. We're gonna also try a couple of these wrapped up in a tortilla to see if that works as a delivery mechanism. So first things first, let's get out our pickles. We'll just start with a couple of these for right now and see how this works. 1 and 2. Those are good. All right, I've got a chicken breast, a turkey breast, and a couple of different kinds of beef. I think what I'm going to start with, this one. This one is a hot honey chicken breast that I got from the deli at my local grocery store. There's no reason you have to actually use any particular type of meat for this particular recipe. You can use any type you want.
Scott likes meat he has sliced at the grocery store deli or meat counter. My mom used inexpensive pre-packaged lunch meat. There is no wrong kind of meat as long as it's thin enough to roll. Pick the kind that makes you happy and fits your budget.
I'm just choosing to go with this one because it looked tasty. And then we need some cream cheese. I'm going to try this 2 different ways, which is why I brought out two pickles here. From what Marcy said about her mom's recipe, her mom spread the cream cheese across the lunch meat, which will probably work, but it will also probably be a little difficult to spread because cream cheese likes to try to break lunch meat when you do that. So we're going to try it that way, and then we're going to try a technique that I watched on a Japanese sushi making tutorial about how they use egg and or cream cheese when they make rolls by cutting little strips of it and then rolling it up with other things. So we're going to try both methods and see which one works better. We're going to start with the spreading method because we can. I'm going to take just a bit of cream cheese and spread that a little bit. Or try to spread that a little bit. Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen because this cream cheese doesn't have a lot of things to bite onto. There's not a lot of porous in the meat. So getting it to spread is going to be a little challenging. But a little bit of squishing and gentle pressure gives us a little bit of cream cheese in there. Put just a little bit more on that. There we go. It is entirely possible that a room temperature cream cheese would spread easier. Yes. All right, and then I'm just going to take one of these pickles. And then I'm just going to roll it right up in that. And we have our pickle roll. Now, you can either put a toothpick in that and serve it as it is. Some people would find that a little bit too big, so I actually got my knife out here, and we can just do a quick slice on that, and maybe do another one as well. And so we got ourselves some nice little pickle hors d'oeuvres. I'm just gonna eat this little one here because it's in the way. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Nice warm chicken breast with cream cheese and a hot pickle. That works. That definitely works. Okay, so we'll set this one aside. Transfer these to my plate there. Grab another piece of our lunch meat. Plop that there. And you said cut the pickles into slivers. So we'll quarter the pickles. And we'll try this again with the spreading technique. Preload that with a little bit of cream cheese. Yeah, it's already getting a little bit easier to work with as it warmed up just in that couple of minutes we did that last roll. It's still going to be a little bit hard to really spread, but it is more malleable this way. That's probably about right there. That's a much more delicate size, probably more in the lines of what the hors d'oeuvres are supposed to be. And this way you can get more than just one set off of the piece of lunch meat there. I should probably wash my hands since I just licked them. Hard not to lick your fingers when you're working with this stuff because it tastes so damn good. Of course, I have to admit, I'm the only one that's going to be eating this, so it probably doesn't matter whether I lick my fingers or not anyway. Because I have no intention of sharing these with my friends on Wednesday. Likely going to be my lunch tomorrow. There we go. And then just roll up this one too. Yeah, so that's yeah, with the quarter sizes, that definitely makes a more hors d'oeuvre size offering. I offered myself that hors d'oeuvre. Although the size is better for hors d'oeuvres, I think for my own personal enjoyment, I think I like the bit with more pickle in it. So for my next experiment, we're gonna take a piece of my chicken. And we're gonna try the Japanese sushi technique with this. I'm gonna take a strip of the cream cheese and cut it and just lay it right there on that, and then put a piece of the pickle right next to it. Now, I don't have one of the nifty little rice mats that they use for this when they're making sushi, but did seem to roll up reasonably well. Although, I can definitely see an advantage to using the spreaded technique because it actually would adhere to the meat better than the slice technique did. But it seems to have worked. So either technique obviously would work. I'm going to do this one using that same technique. Bink, bink. And for my final one, yeah, it definitely works. And it's a little easier to actually assemble that because you don't have to try to spread it, but it doesn't actually roll quite as well because you don't have anything to act as glue. Okay. So the last experiment I want to do with this is to take an entire pickle. Well, that's a big one. Take an entire slice of my lunch meat. Take a strip of my cream cheese. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to split this in two. And put my pickle right in the middle of it. And then just kind of roll and fold this whole thing over and see how it comes out. Definitely the meat does not have the structural integrity for that. So what I'm going to do now is take one of these here carb balanced tortillas and then just roll the whole thing up in that. That, other than being a little bit too big for the tortilla being a little too big for it, that's got really good feel, structural integrity to it. Cut that in half and, oh yeah, and I even like how that came out. That's got kind of a very sushi-like expression to it. I'm not an artistic person, but that still looks pretty good. It's not an hors d'oeuvre at this point. This is a sandwich at that point, but I think I approve.
You can also add lettuce or other vegetables to dress up your sandwich roll-up.
I really approve. So that's transitioning from a vintage hors d'oeuvre recipe into something that's probably going to become my lunch for the next couple of days as I make about 3 more of these.
I hope you have found this to be an interesting process to recover a vintage recipe through experimentation. Give it a try for your next party or packed lunch. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Till next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.